war in Gaza and the attacks of Israel by planes and missiles on innocent people. Where is this about the war in Ukraine? Is the war in Ukraine the reason why Paolo Zampoli sued to get his $7 million? When Paolo Zampoli, Skerritt's architect in New York, his ambassador said, and I quote, he's afraid his share will disappear in the many offshore banks we maintain and the Dominica Bank in Switzerland. Mr. Peltier, when was the Dominica Bank in Switzerland instituted? Can you tell us? Do you know about the Dominica Bank?
I heard about it, but I can't tell you the exact date. I heard about it, yes.
I see. Did you ever hear about a parliamentary proceeding where it was decided we must maintain offshore accounts for the CBI, including in Switzerland? Can you recall ever such a thing?
Of course.
Or such a law being passed?
Mm-hmm.
I see. So what he does is he deceives, he distracts, he conceals, and he demagogues the issue. No one, least of all myself, would want any economic harm to come to Dominica. But who has brought the economic harm to Dominica? When correspondent banks are afraid to touch monies linked to the CBI because of the misconduct of our government. Was that Lennox Linton that caused the arrest of all these gangsters as ambassadors, Mr. Peltier?
Of course.
Was that Matt Peltier who gave the information to the FBI to arrest Ng Lam Seng, Mr. Peltier?
No.
Were you the one who gave Scotland Yard the information to arrest Alison Maduke, Mr. Peltier?
Nope.
Were you the one who gave the information to Interpol to arrest Ali Rizam Montared, Mr. Peltier?
Nope.
Were you the one who gave the information to the tax police of the government of Italy to arrest the ambassador of Skerritt appointed called Francesco Corallo?
Nope.
Were you the one? So what he's doing in his distraction and his deceit is trying to turn Dominicans against Lennox Linton and the Patriots by saying that we, those of us who criticize, are the ones who are destroying Dominica, you see. So when you point out error, when you point out crime, when you say that you must not breach the financial law that says that monies generated by the sale of Dominican assets, or which is the passport, or monies that are due to the government of Dominica must be placed in the consolidated fund, not in the name of some guy called Anthony Hayden or Mr. Abdullah in Dubai. You're now a criminal. You're now a terrorist. You're now savage as someone who is trying to destroy Dominica. Skerritt is the one who destroyed family relations, destroyed the diaspora, turned people against the diaspora because he's used, misused, and abused the diaspora to come down and vote in violation of law. Right here in Washington, people who should know better, divided in a way we never were because of Skerritt's behavior in turning Dominicans against each other. So this is a whole bunch of poppycock, and it's all a bunch of lies that the charlatan that he is trotting out. If he has nothing to hide, then he should give an accounting.
Do you think he is running scared, Mr. Gabriel?
Let me just finish.
Yes.
If he is saying that the world is in such an uproar with the war in Ukraine, the war in Israel, the war in Gaza, and things are hard, then he's making the point that we're making. Bring the $8.9 billion home. Let us know where you put the money. That is why you should do it, because things are getting hard in Dominica. Bring the money back from Dubai and the other places that Zampoli says that those monies are kept. That's what he should do.
But of course, the observers are saying that he may be running scared, but he says he has nothing to hide.
My friend, somewhere in Shakespeare says, quote, "Thou protesteth too much. Thou protesteth too much." This is not Skerritt's money, you know. This is money that belongs rightfully to the people of Dominica. It's not the money of the Labour Party, you know. Look, listen to what a Labour Party, first of all, there's no Labour Party. Listen to what are Skerritt's cronies. Because what we have is a group of people around Skerritt. There's no Labour Party. That has died now. I think it died when Terrell basically died. It died. It's gone. It's no Labour Party. One of the supporters said, "David, what do you mean? If Skerritt is the one who gets the passport money, why shouldn't he take some of it? That's what one of his supporters said to me. A former policeman, I wouldn't call his name, but he's a former policeman. That's the rot. That's the cancer. That's the crime that now infects the minds of otherwise good Dominican people who should know better. I shut him down. I said, you mean to tell me that you're saying this to me? You, a 60-year-old man, you're saying to me that the Prime Minister, who is a public servant, not a public god, someone who's charged to doing the public's interest, who is serving the public interest at all times, should take a little money because he got it? This is why we are where we are in Dominica. There are people in the police service, people in the civil service, people in the law court, people in the DPP's office who turn the blind eye to the rot that's infesting our nation, and that's why all the banks are pretty much left. We cannot run a country. We cannot be an independent country. We cannot be a law-abiding country where the laws are violated every single day, that a penny from the CBI is kept in Dubai or in some offshore account. When you see the mansions going up, when you see the carnivals they hold, when you see the planes that they charter to bring people home, where's that money coming from? From Skerritt's pocket? From Vickers? From Yampis? From Bubba Job? From Belmarché? From barbecue? From fish fry? Selling popsicles? Is that where the money you think those things are coming from, Matt PLK? Talk to me.
No. It's coming from somewhere.
I see. It's certainly not coming through NBD. It's certainly not coming from the credit union. Where is it coming from? So stop trying to take Dominicans like fools. I love my people. But we are all...
I said earlier, it appears that Dominica is not the only country posing questions about the CBI or CIP. Let me share with you an interview done in St. Lucia with Mr. Philip Martinez. Who's also challenging the CIP in St. Lucia, Dominica. That's just attention.
Because what has happened here, Lisa, and the same happened in your country, is that they took every safeguard that you have to protect yourself, and they send the passport money machine, printing machine, they send it to China in Galaxy bank account. That's what happened. Right now, the printing money machine of your passport money is in China. Galaxy received the money of your passport. People are scared. All sales agents coming to Washington, not advertising secretly, giving us the documents because they know that what took place involved money laundering through the US banking system. We have obtained, because of the defamation lawsuit, we have obtained the transaction in US dollar of these people. Lisa, since we filed the lawsuit, a lot of people are coming to see us in Washington, D.C. because they're scared. They know this is a very serious problem. And they know that your country has allowed Galaxy two things. One, to sell under the legal price that is in your law. Two, the money is going straight to China. Can you imagine? We found out last week that your country has given 13,000 units to Galaxy. That's 52,000 potential passports. It's an invasion. And that the money is going straight to China, to Galaxy accounts.
That would be bypassing the system that is in place, correct? Is that what your claim is? That
Of course it is. This is an entire fraud of the highest caliber done by Galaxy, masterminded by Stan, with the complicity of politicians and officials.
Yes, you are holding the former administration accountable. But we're not seeing that the former administration included in the lawsuit at all for St. Lucia. Why is that?
Because we have the contract that brought Galaxy to St. Lucia. And they had escrow account. And there was a mechanism system of checking if it was if progress were made, right? There was check and balances too, which now there is no more check and balances. Now it's the wild west of the CIP of St. Lucia came to see us in Washington, D.C. secretly last week. Okay? He told us the number. So you've given 14,000 units to Galaxy. Where's the money?
Wait, before we even get to the question of where's the money, you saying that someone from St. Lucia came to Washington, D.C. to see you, because I can clearly remember that in April, you had issued an invitation. I don't know if you had written privately, but certainly in a press release in April, you had an invitation for Prime Minister Pierre as well as Deputy Prime Minister Ernest Hilaire to come to Washington so that they can sit and hear all of the evidence. That was shrugged off, and you're now saying that someone came to see you?
And when I landed, I got a message that he actually took the flight and wanted to meet in person at my lawyer office on Friday morning, which he did. He came with his wife, which very lovely lady, and he sat down with us and my lawyer in our office. That was it. This is your money, your passport money. Could not have happened without the strong collaboration of someone which we listed before as a co-conspirator. But now that we have strong confirmation of his exact role, we will move him as a defendant. Mr. Hilaire, panic. it's a panic for these people. I can tell you that we have investigators right now, because they know that we are able to track down the US dollar transaction. We know that they're going to the Middle East right now, changing their account to non-US dollar. You know, it's they're worried. They know the game is over.
And so, just to be clear, coming off your conversations with McLeod Emmanuel in Washington, D.C., information, according to you, has now given the impetus for Dr. Ernest Hilaire, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Responsibility for the CIP in St. Lucia, to be named as a co-defendant, as a defendant, because in the lawsuit, he is named as a co-conspirator.
More questions continue, huh? Who's to blame? Let's take a few phone calls. Hello, talk to me in the afternoon. Yes. Wow. Yes, Scholar.
Yes, how are you doing, man? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm here taking it easy, you know how it is.
But I suspect you're off the telephone. I'm not hearing you very clearly.
Can you hear me now? Are you hearing me better?
It's much better. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. I said I'm here listening to the happening and the events, occurring in our region, my Pelty. And I don't know if you had time to hear my message earlier, but Pelty, what is happening is a reflection of the lack of vision and lack of leadership we've had going on in the Caribbean for some time, specifically Dominica. And I think the deeper issue in all the conversation is what is the role of the population in the Caribbean? What is the role of our people in our own personal development? And I think far too long we have taken a passive approach. And there's a misconception that once your election is over, everybody should go sit at the house and expect the government to churn in stuff for. And when you don't pay attention, if you go on it and you give somebody to do investment for you, Matt Pelty, and you don't check on every now to see how your investment is going, they could be stealing your money and you have no clue what's happening. And I think that's exactly what is happening in the Caribbean. And some of these folks, because of their myopic mindset, not a vision for the growth of their people, not a vision for how we can take a young man and develop him over the next 10, 15 years. But all that vision is about is how I can stay in power and how I can manipulate the people so I remain in power. And in the meantime, I throw wool over their eyes and make them think that the yes we care is what government is supposed to do. Building houses for you is what government is supposed to do. And doing all the things that are emotional but makes no sense in terms of long-term development. So we hype up our people. We tell them to sit by, do nothing. We tell other people that our country is incapable. We do not have smart, bright, talented people to do economics, to make plans for our growth, to combat global warming, to have technology, using our schools to have innovation and creativity. It's, as a matter of fact, they said survival is the key for invention, and it's the only place where I see we in constant survival and we invent nothing. So, Matt Pelty, what we have are are men who have lost their way. And I had a conversation with somebody the other day. Our problems in society don't start in society. It starts from the home, Matt. Every single issue we have in society, including the kind of leadership we have, starts from the home. And when you have people who are ill-disciplined, who have no moral compass, who have no love, who have no empathy, they get into power, Peltier, and their personality reflects and transcends to the population. And what we have is division and a certain agenda. And we find ourselves today where our money is being hijacked by that individual. Our state property is hijacked by an individual for his own goals. And there is no reason why a foreigner in MMC, I don't care who it is, you telling me that the CPI is the lion's share of the investment in Dominica. And the people of Dominica should ask no question. Matt Peltier does ridiculousness to the highest degree. And as I said before, in the Caribbean, and I'm looking at places like Texas, Florida, and I mentioned that to you earlier, California, the largest population in the U.S. with about 21, 30 million people. The Caribbean region stretching from the Bahamas down to Trinidad, including the Greater Antilles, have over 40-something million people. And I don't think that the policymakers are including these people in their development trust. Because if they were, we would not be finding the Chinese and all these people coming to Dominica and tell us how to do agriculture, how to build homes, things we have done in the past. And we're not even ashamed that after 46 years of independence, that we are still dependent on a foreign country to build us hospitals, build us roads, build us streets. And we sit there with our hands out and our mouth long begging for survival. And what has happened is the leadership of the Caribbean is feasting on and is preying on the vulnerability of our people, making them continue to feel insecure and incapable in themselves. And people think that is leadership. Matt Peltier, I am sorry if that's where we find ourselves, but like I've said to you before, unless you value and cherish yourself, then you won't value and cherish your abilities to do what you can to develop yourself, your family, and your country. I think it's about time Dominicans put their selfishness aside, put that divisiveness aside, who is Labour on freedom and UWP, and understand that our country and our democratic society depends on us to be active to get it to where it wants to be, and remove the con artists that have inserted himself into our governance, stripped the power away from us to make our votes. I come from the constituency of Benz. I know a lot of people who had voted the Labour Party before who have changed their mind about supporting them. Because when you can take a young lady who has a lot of potential, thrust her into a situation with nobody casting a vote for her, that, my friend, is still in your democratic right and your democratic power. And I say it's about time to get rid of roots that is carried on the backs of Dominican people by any means necessary. Matt Peltier, you have a good afternoon.
Have a good afternoon. Also heard from Mr. Ronald Charles, the same Ronald Charles, last week on the very, very issue. Mr. Ronald Charles, where are you?
No, Mr. Matt Peltier, then we have to ask Roosevelt Skerrit the same questions. When all the young people at Clare Harbor is leaving because they do not have a job, when all our local businesses are suffering because they cannot increase the minimum wage and give their employees a better opportunity, when all the roads, including the Bayfront, can only be repaired because some people are coming down for independence, when all the lights at the stadium cannot be fixed, and we have international cricket going on all around the region, including the OECS countries. When all our average Teachers Day and Teachers International Day cannot get an increase. When all our nurses are running away and we wondering what to do. When our policeman is police weak and they're weak in every sector of the police force. When all our schools, everything is deteriorating. This is the time to bring in the money that we don't know where it is. And when some people stand up for truth and justice, it should have been embraced by the Prime Minister and not used as a distraction. You heard it from Mr. Gabriel Christian.
Mm-hmm.
It is, I keep telling people, Roosevelt's carrot is a spin bowler and he plays for the West Indies. The difference is he uses oil on the ball and keep deceiving the batsmen. And the batsmen are the average persons in Dominica. You cannot continue to deceive people. You're telling me in 2024, you're talking about the war in Ukraine and you're talking about Israel and all this. And in 2021, Danny Lucas stood up before the parliament of this country and asked you the same questions about the CBI program, and you refuse to answer it because you have put persons in place to manipulate and to take away questions and use the standing order to their benefit. That is what you're talking about. I know you're trying to deceive so many people. So many young people now are calling me, Matt, today I got 2 applications. And I asked the people, well, what, where they're coming from? They're coming from Clare Harbor. Because it's a fact. It's a fact that young people are going to lose their jobs. And where are we getting the money from? And you heard us. You heard Mr. Linton and myself a couple of Thursdays ago. We asking the people to donate. And you heard the $1,000 donation, and you heard the $5, and you heard the $25, and you heard an old lady who doesn't have anything, says the last $50 she's going to bring it. So while some people stand for integrity for this country, a few people must deceive them with their googly and bowling this no ball all the time. And our young people and the people of Dominica have to keep standing up for Roosevelt's carrot and his nonsense. That is the problem in Dominica, because we keep accepting the nonsense. And I can tell you this, as long as I'm alive, despite all my default I may have, I will stand for equal rights and justice. I will stand by the side of the President of the United Workers' Party and our political leader, Dr. Thompson Fontaine. And I will do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And then you come in and try to deceive people and talk this nonsense. We're filing a case for finally, all of a sudden, you have a delegate conference in November. Because my grandmother always said to me, she said to me a long time ago, she's from Zimbabwe. She said anytime the vampire needs something, he will come for it. I'm not talking about Roosevelt's carrot. I'm talking about what my grandmother told me about vampires. They need fresh blood. And we have to understand that this country is for the next generation, not for me. Mr. Linton is not fighting from himself. For years, this man has been engaged in trying to put the right things forward. But Dr. Thompson Fontaine has articulated the diversification process of which we must employ. And all other members, Edison James and everybody else, Mr. Gabriel Christian, Dr. Andre, everybody is speaking righteousness and truth to power, including our prayer warrior, Mr. Rodney, Dr. Rodney. And we have been a people who accepting nonsense, and we keep accepting it because there's a promise made. A promise made because, despite it don't have no money and things are hard, we still have a little bit there, so just hold on a little so we can give it to you. So we'll still hold on because we're not sure. I don't worry. They're going to come after me. They're going to come after Mr. Linton. They're going to say things. And persons, the same people that are listening today will call me and say, look what they say. We Ronald talks about you. It's true now. Rather than looking at the truth of the problem and getting deep into the system. Is enough is enough. Skerrit must put himself in a grip, put bad goods on it, and ship it away. That's what he must do. You go into a delegate conference where to get freshness and say, okay, the people have elected you, and it all start again. And to bring the young people down there and to give them all kind of drinks and make them feel that it's okay. We have to stand up, people of Dominica. And I'm very emotional about this because I'm seeing for years, people have been speaking about those things and everybody's just there. Some people are muzzled. Those who can make a difference have been bought. They have been muzzled. They have been tied. And they know we have a country that is going down and down and down. And they want to come before the few, come after the few that is just trying to keep it up. So that when Mr. Linton, myself, and the rest of the United Workers' Party, and you, Matt, when we're crossing the roads, and we're 97 years of age, the young people will help us to cross the road rather than destroy us while we cross the road. And that is what we're trying to protect. And where we get the money from, Ms. Velskerrit, I don't normally call you the head of government. We get it from the same people you have been trying to destroy for years. And playing this psychological thing about, okay, well, where do we get it and when, how do we do it when we have to send people overseas for illnesses? Why do we have to send people for illnesses? And in a couple of years ago, you made breaking news that we have an equipped and ready to go hospital that can cater for the needs of our people. Why do they have to go overseas? Because you continue to play games with them. I'm not sorry.
It's 1:47 in the afternoon. Let's go back to the telephone. A lot of questions being asked about the CBI. Everybody seems interested. So it's not only Dominica that they're asking questions. St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Kitts. So the entire program seems exposed. Hello, good afternoon to you. Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Peltier? I got a lot of questions today. I hope I could ask my questions.
Ask your questions.
Matt, Ronald is going to pop a blood vessel because what Ronald needs to do, stop talking and jump in the ring when the bell rings. That's what he needs to do because the people in the valley haven't seen him for a long time. So all that talk, I know sooner or later he's going to run, jump in the ring, Ronald, and you'll get your beating as usual. Not in a bad way, yeah? But just, you know what I'm saying. But Matt, let me make a point. Matt, that clip you played with the lawyer in Washington, did he say the Prime Minister of St. Lucia came to visit him with his wife? Was that what the
Prime Minister
came
to visit? No. What are you talking about?
Who he said came to visit his office in Washington?
That's the Prime Minister of St. Lucia, I think, or somebody else, some other minister of government. Yes.
So Matt, do you believe this guy? Because are you telling me if I'm?
But I was given reports from St. Lucia that he made a trip to Washington. Can't confirm whether he was there or not in that office, but I got reports that he visited this guy there in Washington.
Okay, I don't. Well, my personal feeling on that, I don't think that guy came. The guy in St. Lucia, I don't think he came on.
So do you know that Mr. Philip Martinez is challenging the same program in St. Lucia? Are you aware of that?
Yes, Matt, and I'm happy you brought that up. I am very, very happy. Matt, why did that guy didn't take the case? Lennox invited Lennox called the guy and wanted to visit him in Washington, and the guy didn't take up the case.
Oh, you're saying things that you know, you're saying things that you don't know.
I say things that I know. With the help of what's the lawyer in Washington, you play his clip there.
Oh, Mr. So you mean Gabriel Christian called you in the Bronx and told you that Lennox went to this guy? You know his name?
Matt?
I'm asking you, do you? No. I want to have a fair conversation with you. Do you know his name?
I would love to have a fair conversation with you. Let me.
Oh, no. I'm asking you, do you know his name? Because you're accusing Lennox Linton of going to Washington or inviting himself to go to Washington. So do you know his name?
Matt, Lennox Linton said that in an interview that he contacted the guy in Washington. And now...
And so the guy invited Lennox there.
Let me finish. Let me finish, Matt.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Okay.
The reason the guy did not take up Dominica's case because you guys don't have a case.
All right.
You don't have a case. Or else Dominica would come
So why do you think there's a little panic in the Prime Minister, afraid of even if you say in this case is transparent and accountable, why are you afraid of going forward with the case? If there's no evidence, my brother Al, take the case and let's go forward. Why the panic?
Matt, we're not afraid. The only thing I feel sorry about, Matt, at the bottom of my heart, the only thing I feel sorry about is the same people you say that never have money in Dominica, they're going to lose their money. They're going to lose. You know, you always say, people don't have no money.
Well, let them lose their money because they're confident about going forward. So if you feel like they're going to lose their money, you will not invest. Let the people lose their money. But I'm gonna call Mr. Linton to deny or accept your claim, right? Because you said he was invited to Washington and or they did not accept the invitation, something like that, right? Right? Oh, he's gone. 449-309. Al is a crazy guy. But I'll talk to Mr. Linton later to say to speak to what you just accused him of. Hello, are you there?
Are you there, Mr. Pelte?
I'm right here, my brother. How you doing?
Can you hear me now?
I'm here.
So, Matt, Ronald Charles noticed the spin bowler that bowling googly still passing oil on the ball.
That's what Ronald said.
Mr. Linton.
That's what Ronald said, yes.
Long Mr. Linton noticed, well, that's match fixing. He said, you don't go in and bat. And one can say, okay, they followed Mr. Linton. Everybody say, we don't go in and bat. So now there is no opposition there. Nobody don't want to face that ball and match fixing, Matt, and ball tampering. That is very interesting. For years I saw it. I saw Roosevelt with a pickaxe and shovel. And he had Blackmore, he had Vince, he had Ostry, Nantan, Daru, he had Tony, all of them were there with him, Matt. And they started digging a very deep and wide pit. But then it seems like he fired everybody that helped him to start digging the pit, Matt. And his ladder could reach the top, Matt, so he could climb up and clear the dirt for it not to fall back on him. But now, Matt, his only logic of escape is to dig deeper because he's in a pile of... I can't say the word on the radio, Matt. Maybe it's about lunchtime now. Now, Matt, the pit gets so deep and he's digging deeper because he has dug that pit for himself as a convenient route of escape. So every shovel is sent up, Matt, of dirt, it's falling back on him. Every shovel of dirt is sent up because the pit is too deep and wide. Matt, you know who he accused of trying to bury him in the pit?
Why not?
He accusing them of trying to bury him in his pity dig and shoveling dirt. Now it is so deep, the dirt cannot reach the top and it's falling back on him. And he said, look, they're trying to bury me. Accusing them of trying to bury him when it's he that is shoveling his dirt. He dug his pit so deep and wide, and the dirt he's shoveling, trying to send it to the top, falling back on him. That's what he does, Matt. And just quickly, I was watching a little African movie, Matt, quickly. A big, rich and famous man and his wife employ a gate man and a house cleaner. The house cleaner woman, the gate man a man. So they were in love, that delicate thing, but secretly. So the man was a politician, Matt. Bam, Matt. He and his wife came home and the wife started accusing him of having several women and she know about it and things. So he said, you will not destroy my political ambition. He pushed her. She fell. She hit at the back of her head, Matt. He now, not realizing the girl they sent on leave, the house cleaner, her family had a little problem. They sent on leave, but she came back because she had a little boyfriend there, the gate man, and they don't know they were out. So when they came in, Matt, she went and hid and she videoed in the quarrel, watching the man kill his wife accidentally. And Matt, maybe it was not intentional, maybe it was. Matt, the man closed the house. He went out and he come back and accusing the gate man of killing his wife. But he don't know the house cleaner inside the video in the whole thing because she on leave. She go by her family because they have a little crisis.
Right.
And Matt, they have the man languishing, and now the woman exposing the video. Look who killed his wife, not my boyfriend. Matt, that scenario, does it sound familiar, Matt? How can you kill something and accusing workers or Mr. Linton of killing it or wishing it dead? You are the one who coming out and saying, oh, you're going to get rid of NEP, get rid of Yes We Care, because it was not a parliamentary decision. At the stroke of a pen, I can just destroy, he can just mash up everything. It's the same man who pretend to be referring to Thomas Layton in isolation when it was we Dominicans referring to I run things. Rather than tell Thomas Layton, he just have to say, tell Dominicans I run things. Now you're running things to the pit you have dug for yourself, deep into the earth crust. You have no form of escape in your insanity. Your logic is to dig deeper. My brethren, in closing, one of the basic principles of wisdom is to know when to stop. Have a blessed day, sir.
Have a blessed day. Blessings. Mr. Martinez, according to, I didn't listen to that interview that was conducted on the Civil Vibes, but from what I gather, Mr. Martinez explained why he did not sue or he did not include Dominica. Galaxy does not operate in Dominica. That's the basic information I received, okay? Why he did not sue Dominica, because Galaxy does not operate in Dominica. Hello, talk to me, yeah? Okay, Al?
Hey.
Yes, how you doing?
My brother Matt, good afternoon to you, man.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and good afternoon to your many listeners, both at home and abroad.
Yes.
Matt, we are going through a crisis in the Caribbean, and particularly Dominica. That's where we live. One of the most wickedest thing that happened in Dominica is that we have an administration and a leader we claim to be that has no discipline, no manners, no ethics, and I would say no clue as to how to run a country, but to run their pocket. And at the end of the day, it left a people, a country to suffer. And I can tell you, the suffering, Matt, I always indicate that it will get bad. But last night, Matt, I was telling a guy, I really made those comments, but I never really realized that it would have been so bad, Matt. And at this point, Matt, these Caribbean leaders, Matt, they joined, they conspired, Matt, and with their lack of discipline and greed, Matt, they plunged the Caribbean island with their selfishness and greed. I'm not even including Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad, and Guyana, who in the formation of the Caribbean, they decided to hold on to their own selfish greed and have their own currency. But Matt, you see this Dominica there, and you see we in the United Workers' Party, we stand solid with Lennox Linton. And Matt, doesn't matter what Roosevelt Kerry do or say, his lack of discipline and how to manage an economy. And it's like, Matt, he never thought that he would see money. And when money come in his eyes and in his mouth and in his nose and in his chest and in his belly, he was tumulty. And he left the whole country now, as a result, tormented with economic woes and problems and job loss and anarchy, and people unable to pay their bills and to meet their basic needs and to help their children and to feed them properly and to send them to school and to pay bills well. Matt, we are in a crisis, and I'm calling on the people of Dominica at this point in time. Let us all join hands together and to save this country and to fight and to bring us back, because Matt, we have been so far, and it will only take, Matt, class and discipline, knowledge, wisdom, God and understanding for us to weather that storm and to get out of it. So I want to say to Mr. Linton, them all little flabby things that flying around, don't even pay attention to that, because the people of Dominica know that Roosevelt carried, squandered, laundered, and plundered the resources of the state. And as a result, right now, that administration don't even know where and how they're going to get source and money to really take care of the needs of this country. So this indisciplined man and the incompetent man and the man that plunged this country into chaos and anarchy is none other but Roosevelt Skerritt, and he has all the blame to take, Matt, because he could have used the billions and billions of dollars that came in. No other government has ever reached close to play and see billions like Roosevelt Skerritt, and today are people unable to hold that job and to pay their bill and to take care of their basic needs, to put food on their table. I say it's time that we evict him with immediate effect, and he must go, and he needs to go. No, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, my brother.
Matt, good afternoon, sir. Boy, Dominica people do. Some people Dominica do easy, you know. And Skerritt himself. Skerritt have been prosecuting the other side for 7 years without the consent of Dominicans. And he's spending all Dominican money to pay high-end lawyers from Trinidad. And Dominicans that decide to spend their own money, you know, he questioning where are Dominicans going and where they getting the money. But they getting money to pay him $64,000 plus other things, which is $100 and something thousand per month. Yeah? He getting all that. He take $4,000 one time and plus his other people he give a raise. He didn't ask that question. He didn't think about that. But because them other people, because Dominicans, everybody cannot be for Linton and everybody will not be for Skerritt and it's not a Linton thing. Because $679 cannot take care of Linton. You know that? $679 cannot take care of Linton. So Linton to fight it for himself. He's fighting for Dominica. And it's time for Skerritt to stop that foolishness trying to fool people. If you have nothing to hide, why he burst in a vessel? Let those people run their case and bring your evidence. That's all. That's a simple thing. The man take that and making a big issue. He panicking. Anyway, I'll talk to you. I'll listen.
2:13 is the afternoon time. Let's take a phone call. Yes.
Matt, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Matt, I know you will say that's not what you're talking about. Just a question I want to ask. What is the hold up with electoral reform right now as we speak?
I have no idea. The Prime Minister said it would come at the end of August. We haven't seen it. So we'll have to ask him directly.
There's another August to come.
I'm not, maybe for him, but he hasn't he hasn't spoken about it just yet. Okay? All right. We're going to take a break and we'll come back with more of your phone calls after this.
Dominicans, enjoy your property, protect your property. You homeowner, And businessman, protect your property, insure your property. Can't wait for the hurricane, can't wait till you flood again, can't wait till your roof fly out and all your business coming out. Remember, no insurance company will insure your property when a storm is approaching. Get ahead of the hurricane season and insure with a company who gives you the assurance of payment for your valid claim. Come speak with us today at the New India Assurance Company Limited, upstairs AC Shillingford and Company Limited, 24 King George Street, Roseau. Bring along an up-to-date valuation from a qualified engineer and get insured today.
Bloombox brings you our new branch right in the heart of Roseau to make things even easier for you to get all the best products we have in stock. Bloombox Roseau, on the corner of Hanover Street and Dewey Lane, next to Richard Wholesale, the same block as Western Union. Bloombox Roseau, a farmer's favorite place. New location, same great products for all your planting needs. We're open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call us at 235-3483. Bloombox, your one-stop shop for everything that grows. Let's bloom together.
Somebody book me on the big Mouvement créole à secure. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité pour études créole Dominique. Et puis Radio QFM qui est présenté. Mouvement créole. Tous les mardis soirs, 6 après-midi. Information, blague, interview, l'histoire, problème, discussion, reportage, apprendre à parler et puis écrit créole. Lien avec ton peuple créole. Bon musique créole. Mouvement créole. Nous fait un rendez-vous, messieurs, mesdames. Tous les mardis soirs, QFM qui est frappé avec bon parole créole. Sans ça participer, qui est nous? Rapide bâtiment Mouvement créole à seconde station QFM. Boissez avec nous tous les mardis soirs 6h pour Mouvement créole. Matchez ça.
The curtains are coming down on cultural competitions for Independence Celebrations 2024, brought to you by the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development and the Cultural Division. Come witness the best of culture at the finals. Cultural Finals Part 1, Friday, October 11th at the All Mill Cultural Center at 5 p.m. Cultural Finals Part 2, Saturday, October 12th at the Pure Charles Secondary School at 3 p.m. and Cultural Finals Part 3, Sunday, October 13 at the Roosevelt Douglas Primary School at 3 p.m. Independence Celebrations 2024 Cultural Competitions. See you there. Pay nous, cadeau nous.
All right, Dominica, there are more WhatsApp messages. Yes, you know, I like the way these guys in government are complaining about how the CBI funds help to fund all these projects. Yet, they still tell us about the small loans they have to take to fund some of the very same projects that the CBI is supposedly funding. Some things don't seem right. The math is not mathing. Clearly, some of these people have become filthy rich from the CBI funds. They are living large, too large. Their assets do not match their salaries. So there needs to be a forensic investigation into some of these people's finances to ascertain how they became so rich from their monthly salaries. We need accountability and transparency. Dominicans should now demand it. And the press needs to keep the pressure on. When somebody shows you who they are the first time, please believe them. Do you remember the Binbo Ball scandal? Do you remember the Boboa land scandal? I can go on and on and on. These things are very troubling to me. Therefore, Dominicans need to remember and reflect. Dishonesty should never be a criteria to be in politics to lead a country. Nor should be the election to public office become a license to thief. A more WhatsApp message, Matt. The way the government and its acolytes debate and argue is sadly very childish. How can Al be crying out of concern for those who believe in a matter and saying they say they don't have no money and losing their money in court in a matter? This guy's strategy regarding their defense is geared towards a stupid, shallow-minded, and gullible people. Bright people don't call or don't fall for that nonsense. The other group that nonsense appeals to are greedy and selfish, looking for more. It's time for Scary to stop blaming and passing the buck to anyone calling on him to respond. He makes everything serious a joke. Why should he be questioning where the money is coming from? Roosevelt Scary knows the other side and don't have the state resources like himself to contract. Top lawyers. He needs to start respecting the intelligence of people and know he doesn't own all of Dominica or all the money in Dominica. People with limited resources knows how to make ends meet. From a top religious leader in the country. And they say Mumu talking, huh? Matt, alas, I feel sorry for Mr. Scaredwee after Anthony Hayden pioneered him. He still ruled on it. Mark with Sir Roosevelt Scared, who told Hardy. Are you there on the telephone? I'm sorry.
I'm going to make my contribution. I haven't made it yet. I'm trying to put some money together. When I'm making in thousands. I don't make it in no other kind of figure.
And this man is calling from London, where the pounds exist. So I'll make your contribution. Make your contribution. Somebody says, Matt, the responses to carried by Dr. Gabriel, Christian, and Lennox should be played all over Dominica. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Yes. Are you there?
Matt.
I'm here, sir. How are you?
Good. Once again, Matt, I want to join in again with this crucial situation that is going on right now. Matt, Mr. Skerrit continues to blame Dominicans for seeking to find out what has happened to our billions of dollars, and I stress the billions. Our annual budget is somewhere in the vicinity of 1.5 billion or something like that, Matt?
Yeah, closer to that, yes.
So in other words, to finance all that we are supposed to be doing in a year, we need 1.5 billion. And Mr. Skerrit has got somewhere in the vicinity of 6+ billions of dollars that we, the citizens, do not know about. Matt, that alone speaks to where we are. And interestingly enough, we are discussing this matter at a time when the IMF Article 4 report has been out. Matt, I will take just a couple minutes, if that long, to just quote something from that report.
I'm waiting.
it after having made a lot of points, it says it also crucially recommends strengthening the program governance. Speaking of the CBI program, crucially recommends strengthening the program governance. It underscores the importance of ensuring the CBI program operates with high standards of transparency and integrity. Matt, I will not read anymore. Because what this is the INS speaking. This is not Mr. Linton. This is not the Freedom Party. This is not the UWP. This is the IMF telling Mr. Skerritt what he ought to be doing, that he needs to operate this, he needs to strengthen the governance of this program. He needs to operate with greater transparency. Matt, what is this matter that is before the court right now? What is it seeking to establish?
Accountability and transparency.
Thank you very much. So in other words, the CBI is saying exactly what the UWP is requesting on behalf of Dominicans, that Mr. Skerritt, not us, the IMF says that he needs, his government needs to operate this, he needs to strengthen the governance of this program. In other words, this program is not operating the way that it should be. And crucially, when we look at the transparency or the lack of it and the accuracy, remember that the accuracy. In other words, we don't know what they're saying is what Mr. Skerritt and his government is providing for this thing. It's not accurate. And so on that basis, that in itself supports, for those people who are wondering, this supports the reason why the actions by the United Workers' Party on behalf of the Dominicans is indeed the very best thing at this point. And so this is why Mr. Skerritt is going crazy. He's going like a because he understands that he got caught. I think he used that terminology something ago, Matt. He got caught with his pants down. And any institution that is worth its salt is saying to him, you are doing the wrong thing, Mr. Skerritt. And so this is why I believe in closing, the court will say exactly the same thing, and Mr. Skerritt will have to come forward and come clear to the people of Dominica about our war. I stress again, about our money. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, thank you, my brother. Another message there, WhatsApp message. It says the law and the Constitution will extract the records and monies that's hidden under this administration. That's the way, Prime Minister, we want it. No backdoor deal. It's happening the lawful way. So take that to the bank. 2:29 is the afternoon time on radio. This is the Talk on the Block. Hello, talk to me.
But you know, there is problem.
Problem.
The man that own our money have his knee on Skerritt's neck, and Skerritt cannot breathe. Anthony Hayden have his knee on Skerritt's neck, and Skerritt cannot breathe. So he's trying to pass his blame on Dominican. Afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, 449-309596. It almost seems like he's afraid to call that name. Hello, talk to me. Yes? Are you there, caller? Are you there, caller? No, you're not. Let's move on to another call. Are you there?
Yeah, Mr. Pelton, finally. Mr. Pelton, you remember when a question was asked to Skerritt about the monies or the finances or financing of elections in Dominica. What was his response, Mr. Pelton?
I'm not too sure I remember that conversation, but I can't. You mean he said not the damn business, stuff like that? Was it that?
Go to hell.
It's not your damn
It's
business.
none of your damn business where we get money.
I remember
Or
that.
you don't have to say damn business. But
He said that in Trafalgar, to be more exact, or at a campaign rally in Trafalgar.
yes, sir. So, Mr. Linton, Ronald Charles, all of all are talking about now we asking where they're going to get money to pay lawyers in Trinidad. All of you have to tell them and go to hell. It's not his business. Or you don't have to say damn. All your gentlemen. Just tell him, go to hell. It's not your business. But you know guy they call him Andrew who holding Jamaicans hostage?
Yes, I heard about him. Yes.
His name Andrew holding Jamaicans hostage or Andrew Holness?
Holness.
But I saw about 3 or 4 police vehicles outside Andrew holding Jamaicans hostage home, man, ready to search, maybe to arrest, to seize, to interrogate, or whatever it may that would have necessitated their actions, Matt. Matt, the IPO in Dominica, what happened to it, Matt? And do you know the IPO in Jamaica that is at the forefront investigating Andrew Holness, Matt?
Yes, and we squashed the one in Dominica.
No, we will. I mean, I hear they hit it a cool mush pillow behind the head, Matt, like when you're killing a pig. You take a mortar. The mortar, I think, is the piece of stick, and the pestle maybe is the one you're pounding in, and they take the mortar and you hit the pig. Bow! They kill it. I hear about a particular lawyer in the IPO now. Skerritt can better explain. I will not delve into that. I haven't got money. Euros take all my money. Matt, it is dangerous when that man can always want to set the narrative where they're going to get money. And, you know, talking all kind of foolishness. Oh, what if the court stop the CBI program? What will happen? You already killed the CBI program. And Matt, you hear the partner talking about the passport printing machine of St. Kitts, Matt. Went to China, Matt. So the money, the passport is being printed, and then the passports are being sold, and the money is being in a bank in China. It's not the same thing with us, no, Matt. Let us say we print it in Canada, but here they have the money, Matt. And where you have it, Matt, in what is the country name?
Dubai? Yes.
Huh?
Dubai.
Yeah, Dubai. So a lot of people who have insulted me through the years, a little education is a dangerous thing because they realize I'm an illiterate. I did not go to school, so I dare not enter the conversation of the intellectuals. So, after when talking, a little education is a danger. You see what a lot of education can do? Nuclear weapon, thieves, criminals. They even jacket and tie, playing pastor, playing priest, playing politician, police, because they have so much education, they think they're smart. They don't know. They never hear about Interpol, the FBI, the CIA, MI5, MI6, the Mossad, the KGB. It have people that are so brilliant, they're watching all you. 20 years they're investigating all you. When they put the fangs and the claws into all your flesh, it's down to the ground in submission and dash all you down in hell for consumption. Because all you stupid in comparison to people that have education. Praise God, I have none. My Dominicans have to wake up. Hold every politician fit to the fire. So you do not create another monster like this man we have in government or governing our country or ruling our country. Do not think anybody is exempted because there's a pastor, priest, or politician like you be holding to them as your God. Scrutinize all of them. They're not beyond reproach. Stop playing foolishly games with all your livelihood, all your future, all the children prostituting, all the children drug trafficking and all kind of mad human trafficking. Madam, the sea, as ever. I don't want to talk about the CO before they come and see me. Have a blessed day, sir.
All right, take care now. The budget figures are fictitious. Why is it every year money is allocated for particular projects and the actual amount spent is 1% or so of the budgeted amount? Good question. Next question. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
Yes, Matt. I will concur with blessings. When they see you with your dirty clothes walking on the street, they'll think to eat them. You are the most gay bagay, the most gay neck, the paro. But, Mac, those volleys, they're tie almost ready to choke them. Their sleeves coming right down to their fingers. Don't talk about their pants and their shoes. Have a nice afternoon.
Have a nice afternoon too. It's 2:36. Hello.
Good afternoon, Matt.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Nice to hear Blessings back on. And in regard to some of the things that he's asking about re-accountability, this rasgul, and Matt, rasgul is a milk sweet from India. It's a milk sweet made in India, very popular. This rasgul, security minister, when asked in parliament how much money, I believe it was the opposition leader at the time asked the question, and it was allowed, how much money the government spent on lawyers to prosecute/persecute the opposition. He refused to give us the amount, Matt. We only had an estimate that it was $10 million approximately that they had spent. He refused, and you know what grounds he refused on? That it would be a security risk. They create a security risk, and then they want to keep it secret. You spend $10 million prosecuting the opposition, and you think that it is a security risk, and you refuse to answer in Parliament how much you spent. You keep it a secret because you fear that it is a security risk. Mac, how ridiculous can we get in this country? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you. I am not accusing anyone, but the Jamaicans have a saying, thief never love to see thief with long bags. So that seems to be a problem that's going on right now with Copelap, eh? Let us listen and wait and see. If we speak of the Prime Minister of Jamaica, is in as we speak, the Prime Minister of Jamaica is in some sort of hot water for some of the very things I wrote to you about. It seems to be a pattern of behavior with some Caribbean politicians. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes? Oh, sorry about that. 449-309-596. The overseas line is going. Hello, yes?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Mark Peltier. This is Paul Alexander. Can I ask you a question?
Question, yes. I'm not too sure I can answer, but I'll ask the question. Go ahead.
Now, from the day you started working to now, all the money you earned, do you still have it saved in the bank or have it somewhere?
No, that cannot be. That cannot be possible.
So now, so you believe from 10 years ago, all the...
But I have accounts as to where that money may be.
You have
Of course, because I have a bank, so they'll be able to give me an account of everything I've spent and not spent.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you still have it, all the money.
No, I cannot have all the money, but I can give account of some of the money spent.
Correct.
Yes.
So now, when they say 8 billion is missing from the CBI, it would look like the CBI money has never been spent.
It has been spent. We're not saying it has not been spent. Take the statement as is. They're asking for accountability and transparency. You build 10 houses, sir. You want to make a reference. So you've been 10 houses there. What did you spend on these 10 houses, and show us how much you spent? Is that possible? I'm asking you a question. Are you still there, Mr.
Yeah, I'm still there, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's possible to give an account of all the money.
So why are accounts not given?
How do you know?
I'm asking you, I'm asking you why, if it's, we're using just 10 for example, thousands of homes have been built. Tell me, where is the accountability and transparency?
So you are telling me that somebody asked the government to give that information, and the government
have asked how many passports have been sold. Over 50,000 passports were sold in Dominica. Tell us where the money is. Simple like that.
No, but listen to me. Has the government refused to say where the money?
Many times they have refused. Many times they have refused. They always said we have built projects. We have done this. We have done that. But no accountability. None.
Who have been asking the government to present the records?
The opposition in Parliament, they did that. The opposition leader at the time, Mr. Lennox Linton, have done that, and the other opposition leaders who have done that, or other opposition officials have done it.
So when there is a budget presentation in Parliament, the government does not give any account of CBI.
They have, but given, let's say I gave you 10 houses to build, okay? And the 10 houses is $100 each. I'm just breaking it down for you. $100 each. Why are you presenting the amount for only 30? Why?
But I don't know anything about that. First time I'm hearing that.
Oh, first time you're hearing that. So I suspect you don't want to talk. Okay? I want you to be transparent and accountable, but you don't want that. You don't want a conversation at all. Hello, talk to me. I noticed my friend there in St. Thomas. Okay, let's talk. Let's just have a conversation. I'm just breaking it down for you in the simplest ways, but you're running away from the questions. 241. You're not sure. You're not hearing. You have not heard anything like that. How strange. 449-3095-96. Mr. Paul Alexander, come better than that. Come better than that. Okay, thank you very much. 449-3095-96. All of a sudden, yes, government has been presenting figures. You sold 10 passports. You presented for 3. And you says you never heard about that. I thought you were a bright man. I'm just using simple figures for you. 10 and you presented for 30. Simple analogy. Hello, talk to me on the telephone, yes?
Magic, I remember a couple of years ago when the question was asked in Parliament to the government and what Starboy Security told the Mr. Linton, look around all you and you'll see all the houses.
All the houses, no figures.
Is that accountability?
It's not.
So if I give you my money, Mr. Paul Alexander, for $500,000 to build a house for me, you tell me the architect says, that is the design. I tell you what design I want. I tell you everything. So $500,000. When I ask you for my receipt of what you're supposed to build for, when I come, I see you build a Jupiter for me. You can, that is at $500,000. When I ask you for my receipt, what you got to tell me? Look around me and say I build a box for you. So that's not how it's working. That is why Mr. Holiness is in trouble in Jamaica. The same thing almost happened in Dominica. But Starboy stupidity run and block it. With all his accomplices, they went to Parliament and they dismantled it. Right? Otherwise, he would be the same shit. Because there was no accountability there. You cannot have all that asset. When they ask you to declare it, you don't want to declare it. You run in and block it. How that working? You in America, so you know the American system working. Or you must stop that nonsense because you're getting pittance. When election coming for to run to get all of you people to vote in Dominica. Bye-bye.
I'm hoping that he'll call back. I mean, Paul, I'll give it to you. I mean, you're a little brighter than that. You're in the trading business and shipping business, so you understand simple accounts, right? So, as somebody's asking, the simple question is, what is your point, Paul? What is it that you're trying to prove? Hello, talk to me, 244. Hello, yes, 449-3095. Oh boy, the accolades will come up. I can tell you that. 449, they will come up. 449-3095-96. And yes, it seems apparent that you struck a nerve there. They will be coming after you. That's okay. That's okay. They can come after me. I can defend myself when I have to. 244 is the afternoon. But don't be surprised. They will be coming. They will be coming, asking all kind of unnecessary questions. I just told him I gave you 100 houses at $10. Or you say $10, you're presenting 30 for me. Where's the 70? We need the receipts. We need the receipts, huh? This is belonging to the people of Dominica and not the government of the Dominica Labour Party. Somebody says only thieves hate accountability. And we're dealing with a government, so it has to be documented. It's not no fly by night. Has to be documented in our books, so everybody could see what is going on. $2.46. Hello, talk to me on the radio. Yes, you're here.
Matt,
Yes.
Matt, thing that map for you, baby.
Simple arithmetic, yes.
And it's mapping, not mapping.
All right. $2.46. We have just about 14 more minutes. Let's take a voice note now, quick. Yes, hello? Are you there?
Created by the dust, and we divert our attention. It is because what is happening, or the message that is coming, is uncomfortable to him. So he wants to change the narrative. And we take the bait all the time. We take the bait all the time. We get into this narrative, with him talking is foolish. We know it's nonsense he's talking. We know that. Press on the issue that makes him angry. It got to him, the fact that finally the United Workers' Party had been able to put together sufficient funds to engage attorneys who are able to advocate for the clients immediately, the UWP, and finally on behalf of the people, to address a matter that Skerrit thought that they would never be able to collect sufficient funds to do so. He was very comfortable doing that because he was persecuting the opposition to the point where they were not able to have sufficient funds to take them on financially. And that is part of the whole idea of socialism, communism, because, and they tell you about democracy, Matt. I don't know how most people listen to these people talking about democracy. These people use the democratic process that we supposedly were handed to as a means to get to power and control. And once they have gotten there, the only thing that matters to them is them staying in power.
All right, let's take a few more phone calls. 249. Somebody says it's all a corrupt scheme. And most, if not all, of these houses are built to do necessarily by cost. What they told you they cost. Or you're saying they don't cost what they tell you they cost. I get it now. It's all a big corrupt scheme to get votes. We know that, bro. We can't be fooled. On the telephone, hello, talk to me. Mr. Alexander, you can call back. And if you want to, say what I didn't say, that's you. Hello, talk to me. I was just trying to teach you a simple arithmetic class there. Hello, talk to me, yes?
Got my attention.
Yes, tell me.
That Cassie Bruce shelter, man.
Mm-hmm.
When I heard how much $1 million that Cassie Bruce, I said, what? I'm not a builder, I'm not an architect, but that square box they build up at Cassie Bruce for the hurricane shelter, that dock cost $14 or $16 million. We are proceed. Not the people that giving them people telling you they spend X amount. So that is Mr. Paul Alexander. When you're looking at that building there, you can say that building cost $16 million. How that happened in God Green over there in Dominica, the Cassie Bruce Center. No man, and you look at a lot of them things that them building them people doing, then they tell you it costs X amount. Remember, Reggie Austria told us that the Pitchley, I think, houses that cost $400,000. You look it up, which house that cost $400,000 there? But it has to be grateful to have a house for $400,000. Where that coming in there? $400,000 for that? The 2-bedroom house and 1-bedroom house, they give them people in Pitchley there. But tell us if the will come again. They say we didn't have money. They say to take us to court. No, we take all you to court. We will get the money. And where we get it is not all your damn business. Go to hell.
All right, Blue. Somebody says, Matt, you should have asked Mr. Paul. He's listening. I'm sure he's listening. If in your bookkeeping on the number of barrels, it doesn't show the number of barrels shipped and at what price? Mr. Paul, a question to you. When you ship your barrels, doesn't it show the number of barrels shipped and what price? There's a question there for you from the diaspora. Hello, talk to me. Yes?
Matt.
Yes.
I tell you already, to forget is the new way of lying, to forget and don't remember. Thank you.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. 449-3095-96 and 97. I've been following that story there, from Florida. All of us have family there in Florida there. And we're now hearing that they may be facing a monster storm. I just got this report there from the CNN I want to share with you. So pray for our folks there in Florida, okay?
Tampa Bay, that actually exceeds what...
Let's take it from the top.
Brand new urgent information just in from the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane Milton has exploded in strength. It is now a major hurricane already, a Category 3 storm. It's got the entire Gulf of Mexico to gain in intensity. It is forecast to take an incredibly dangerous path. You can see it right there. Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Fort Myers, Naples, all within its cone. Seconds ago, the National Hurricane Center issued a special forecast advisory. This is something it rarely does. That in and of itself gives you a sense of how urgent this is. So let's get right to CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam. Derek, this new information, what are you learning?
Yeah, John, we're facing down a monster. The potential here exists for a second major landfalling hurricane in less than 2 weeks. People along the west coast of Florida are still cleaning up from Helene. You got to keep that in mind. 125 mile per hour sustained winds. The bottom is quite literally dropping out from this particular storm. Major Hurricane Milton. This is the latest 8 a.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, a rare feat from the NHC because they wait usually between 5 to 11 a.m. to have that update. But because of this explosive growth, which, by the way, has increased speeds of over 70 miles per hour in less than 24 hours, doubling the criteria for rapid intensification. You can see this storm, now a Cat 3, likely will remain a Cat 4. That is a major hurricane teetering on a Cat 5 as it scrapes the northern Yucatan Peninsula where there are hurricane warnings. But of course, we are focusing our attention on what will be a landfalling major hurricane late Wednesday into the day on Thursday. This is new, issued from the National Hurricane Center. And this shading of purple from Pinellas to Sarasota to Lee County, that is a major hurricane wind strength that is in the forecast from approaching major hurricane Milton, I should say. This is interesting, John. The first initial storm surge forecast, 8 to 12 feet for Tampa Bay, that actually exceeds what Helene brought, which was a record storm surge for the area.
In just one more time, Derek, when are you forecasting landfall? Has the landfall update changed?
The updated time, probably from overnight when people were following this yesterday, is a slower arrival time. So late Wednesday into early Thursday morning. That's when we anticipate landfall from this storm.
Hurricane Milton has just exploded in strength overnight and now a major Category 3 hurricane and headed for Florida's west coast. Tampa's mayor is warning residents to make a plan now to leave. And moments ago, the National Hurricane Center issued a rare special forecast advisory about all of this. Joining us right now is Michael Brennan. He's the director of the National Hurricane Center. Thank you so much for joining us. How dangerous is this storm, Michael?
It's extremely dangerous. And we've seen Milton explosively strengthen this morning, now Category 3, expected to be a dangerous hurricane as it approaches Florida on Wednesday. We've now got storm surge and hurricane watches in effect for much of the west coast of Florida. Hurricane watches likely to go into the interior and over to the east coast later today. And we're going to see significant life-threatening impacts from surge, wind, and flooding rainfall start to play out in Florida beginning overnight Tuesday night, Wednesday, and into Wednesday night and Thursday.
This is an unusual track for a hurricane. This is not the type of thing that we see very much. Can you talk about the areas in Florida? And I know the entire West Coast needs to be alert right now, but the areas that are particularly vulnerable.
Yeah, well, you have the west coast of Florida is exceptionally vulnerable to storm surge, especially from a track that's perpendicular to the coast, where you're going to push that Gulf of Mexico water well inland into these bays and harbors, places like Tampa Bay, Charlotte Harbor, down to Fort Myers. These are places that are very vulnerable to surge. And if you look at the storm surge forecast we put out this morning, we're expecting somewhere between Anclote River and Inglewood, including the Tampa Bay area, somewhere in here to see 8 to 12 feet of inundation above ground level. Significant inundation all along the coast from Chokoloskee up to north of Tampa to Yankeetown, Suwannee River.
And I'm just getting reports too that it has basically turned into a Category 5. Wow.
Is barreling toward Florida. Hurricane Milton is now a powerful Category 5 as it churns in the Gulf of Mexico, expected to make landfall on Wednesday evening, aiming directly at an area that doesn't usually see direct hits from hurricanes like this, Tampa Bay. Right now, Milton is threatening millions in its path with dangerous storm surge, severe flooding, and damaging winds as well.
Officials are warning people, get out now, with evacuation orders in place for 5 counties along the state's west coast. You see them there in red. And Milton will be the second major hurricane to hit Florida here in less than 2 weeks. We have meteorologist Elisa Raffa tracking the storm in the CNN Weather Center. Elisa, tell us the areas that are expected to be impacted most here.
So it appears that, of course, they're facing a Category 5 hurricane. So let's keep them in our prayers, all the Dominicans in that cold. Let's wrap up at this time. A lot of messages coming in, yes. Good afternoon to you, yes.
Matt, these charlatans who live in the U.S., they are really, really evil, Matt. These people are like Dominica, Matt. These people say they are patriotic, but they're not patriotic, They are bloodsuckers. They feel because they want to rub shoulders and because they're getting some relevance, they can call and just talk about all kind of nonsense. They know that business don't run like that in the U.S. Every government official, the mayor, from the governor, every one of them have to give account for the resources spent. Look, I lives in New York. Just the other day, Eric Adams was indicted, Matt. That is a fluid matter, Matt, for corruption. Paul Alexander himself living in St. Thomas. And he's calling him talking that nonsense. The other day we're picking up people, rounding up people. Because why? The stimulus that came in, the COVID-19 stimulus, Matt, it was badly spent in St. Thomas. So they live in states where they must give account, where the governments must give account for how the monies are spent, Matt. And they feel because it's Dominica, that Kerry should not give account for our money. He should not be transparent. These people love our country. These people love their country. No, they don't. I heard Al said, oh, they are not afraid. Al, are you in government? Are you in government? I just think you all are so out of order. You all are so evil. And I can't even understand for the likes of me that you all are defending something like that. You all are defending the indefensible. Skerritt has to account for how he spent the monies. And that's just it. Thank you, Matt.
It's heading straight to Tampa Bay, Florida. Milton strengthens into a Category 5. We'll be back back. If God is willing tomorrow. We'll be keeping our eyes on that storm. So stay safe for our friends and family there in Florida. Our next stop is with Flo Dominica. Stick around. Stick around, stick around.
Vini pour quitter travailler Flo ba au bon service professionnel. Magasin Flo à Siwoul. N'importe place, n'importe l'air. Ka vini à Palapotou. Flo ka vini tout de suite. À dans en l'occasion tout poué.
The new Flow Store on Wheels is here and ready to serve you. We promised you innovation and we have delivered. The Flow Store on Wheels is equipped to provide all the great products and services available at our Flow Experience Center. If you want to purchase the latest